FC26 Early Access has finally dropped, and today I just want to give you guys my thoughts if you're still on the fence about buying it, if you don't really know if you should hold off, if you should wait, what are the new features, should you just wait for a discount, should you believe in the hype. I want to give you guys my quick first impressions on all the new features, some issues, some bugs and glitches that I found, but it's just going to be specific for FC26. Obviously, there have been some issues and things that have carried over from FC25 and beyond, but I'll leave that for another video, as the first thing I want to cover here is this hub, this manager live hub for the career mode challenges and all the different scenarios and challenges that we now have. You need to be connected to the servers, and like my main huge gripe about this mode is that you don't get your rewards. This is one of the main features in FC26 career mode, and yeah, it just doesn't work. On stream the other night, I wanted to complete a few challenges, win some retro kits to maybe use in career mode, try out in kickoff and use them in the offline sphere. This is what I've won so far. The Napoli retro kit from 2015. I've got the Juventus shirt from the 90s or 80s, and then I recently did the USA retro. That was the only redeeming factor about this live challenges mode. I couldn't really care less. Unless I'm getting a reward, unless I'm getting a retro shirt, that's what I want. But I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you just don't unlock the retro kit. The EA just doesn't give it to you. So don't waste your time on the challenges if that's all you want to do it for, because yeah, I've put in the hard yards and I've got nothing in return. As you can see here, both with Napoli and Juventus, none of the retro shirts pop up in kickoff. I was absolutely fuming the other night on stream. I couldn't believe my eyes. I felt like I was robbed. You can't use them in manager mode, in career mode, like it was advertised, like everyone was hyping up about it. And just to confirm that it doesn't carry over into career mode whatsoever, we're going to change our kit, and the retro kit is nowhere to be seen. Again, I'm hoping this is just a glitch. They paraded this mode around like we could unlock retro kits, we could unlock creator club kits, and that's my first major gripe, the first major issue. The rewards, the retro kits just don't work. And then my chat was telling me that it was only for Ultimate Team, and then I got even more angry and I got even more upset. Then I eventually loaded up into Ultimate Team to see if the kits were there, and yeah, surprise, surprise, they were nowhere to be seen. I don't know what the point of this mode is. Half the challenges are pointless because you don't unlock and earn anything from them, and then the ones that you do have a reward in, the ones that you can unlock retro kits, surprise, surprise, they don't work, and all your hard work has just gone down the drain. This was such an easy tap in, a home run for EA, and they just couldn't get this right. If they end up fixing this and it turns out to be for Ultimate Team, I'm gonna go nuclear. Rant will be incoming. This is just a start, man. This is a farce. This is false advertising. Let me just move on to the next thing. Anyways, I believe this one is just a PC issue. For some reason, generic faces are just cooked. Like whether it's generic face managers or generic face players, for some reason, everyone has bright fluoro purple eyebrows. Especially if you're in a team with enough generic players, like you're gonna notice it tenfold. And this isn't just for generic players. It's for youth academy players. It's for generic managers. It's for like NPCs in the game. Anyone who has a generic face is going to be gifted with the FC26 themed eyebrow color curse. Some generic faces too have just gone completely off the deep end, like Josh H.A.M. Pong. He's got the FC26 eyebrows, and then he's got like a white scalp with too much dandruff. Throughout my first playthrough, these examples were just littered everywhere and you like couldn't not notice it. So if you are on PC and thinking about getting the game, don't start a career mode save yet until EA fix this issue, because once you notice it, you're not going to unnotice it. It becomes such an annoying issue. Diego Leon. Why has everyone got blue eyebrows? Is this the new glitch this year? Blue eyebrows on random player faces again. What is going on? What the blue? Why has everyone got light blue eyebrows, especially for a United player? What are we taking inspiration from Man City or something? The blue FC26, the rise of the blue eyebrows. It's affecting the managers too. The managers have blue eyebrows. So I think it's just generic faces in general. Look at all these managers with the blue, purple eyebrows. Some of them have like white scalps and shit. Ruben Amorim, new face scan. No one in the Premier League's got blue eyebrows, surely. Yeah. Oh no, the Wolves manager does. Especially with Creator Club, like don't even bother, because everyone's got a generic face, so everyone's going to have the cursed eyebrows look. Anyways, our whole entire team have blue eyebrows. Bro, Youth Academy, creator club saves, they're just like impossible. Like, just don't do them. Now, there was also an issue with 7 subs being on the bench instead of 9, but that has been quickly fixed with a squad update. However, if you do go into this team sheet section in the main menus, you're still going to see 7 subs on the bench right here. And that goes for every club, by the way. That's just the way it is out here in the main menu. However, once you go into kickoff and career mode and whatnot, you're going to see the 9 subs be on the bench. So that's been patched up quick, but it's sad to see that little errors and little glitches like that can make their way through. Navigation in the menus has changed slightly, unlike with player career, how you can just click on it and then click new, load, continue, whatever. For manager career, because we have the live hub and then the original section, what you have to do to get back into your loaded save is just like scroll across and continue to scroll until you hit play now. Then you can decide to load a career, create a new one, or just continue on. So don't make that mistake. As we go into career mode, the one thing, a couple of things I can give EA props on. I do like a few things. I like the new menus. I like the color scheme. Finally, we've got a bit of vibrancy. We've got a little bit of color in the menus. It's not just a blackboard and a blank gray space in the background. And yeah, you're going to see that eyebrow issue pop up throughout this video, but we do get a few little manager creation, avatar creation upgrades. You can now sculpt specific parts of players and managers' faces. You can just start sculpting away. You can play around with it. You can experiment with it. You can get really intricate. You can either do a free sculpt or do a defined sculpt. So if you want to change up your avatar's nose, you just click on the nose and then you can, you know, have your way with it, I guess. The sculpting is a little bit more fine-tuned. If you want to take a look at the forehead, you've got some things to experiment with here. You can get creative with it. You can make some devastating creations, let's say, with this advanced sculpting, I guess. Mesh the face. You can change up the cheeks. So the player and manager creation has had a few quality of life improvements. Now, manager customization, the clothing and the shoes and all that hasn't changed, hasn't been updated. However, depending on what kind of clothes you wear, you can now have a scarf. Not that they actually work though, so I don't know if this is a glitch or an error, something that's not supposed to be here. Some outfits have scarves, but they just do not work. Again, I'm telling you, I found so many errors and glitches on stream last night. Let's go back to the positives, like a little bit of a revamped club selection area. You can scroll through every single kit the club has, which is a nice quality of life update. You can see the domestic league, cups, and European trophies for every single team. And now there's a new fan-based devotion element for every club. Now with the career mode settings, we've got more than ever. Similar to what you used to in FC25, but now with deeper simulation and the manager market. The two main W features of FC26 career mode, the only unfortunate thing about it is that you're only going to have 5 leagues to choose from. So you can't go ahead and simulate every single league. You can't take a look at the stats of every single league. It's only the 5 you've chosen. You can take a look at the current season stats, the top goal scorers. You can go through every single club and have a sneak peek at their squad hubs and their team player stats. And not only for the current season, the previous season too, once you enter season 2 and season 3. I don't know if it's a game limitation or just the console limitation, but if you're on PC, I wish you got that option to have like more deeper simulated leagues, because, you know, we can handle it. Another new feature with unexpected events, you can turn on or off, and you can also set their frequency if you want a little bit more spice, if you want scenarios thrown at you, if you want a different experience with your save. You can also start with a points deduction, so why not turn that on? You also get another option to release players in your team, so you can just start off by releasing half your squad if you want to, or a specific player that's been frozen out, and then everything's pretty much the same besides the authentic and competitive gameplay that you can decide. What I'd recommend, I think authentic's a little bit too slow and sluggish. Competitive is just way too much of a ping pong fest. It just feels like everyone's down 10 Red Bull cans and is buzzing off their head. What I'd recommend is going through custom, and yeah, you're gonna have to play around with the sliders. You're gonna have to tinker around with a few things. I'm just gonna save you some time before you test out both type of gameplays. I think they're two different extremes, so you're gonna have to find your own sweet spot with the sliders, unfortunately. I love the new real life loading pictures once you load up into a new save. I think that's kind of cool. I think it reminds me of the old previous FIFA games. Another slight little cool thing is that you can actually see your signature. You actually have to sign your manager contract. However, all the cutscenes, all the player sales and player signing cutscenes and videos have stayed the same. This one stayed the same since like FIFA 22. Now, the major pressing issue and the main difference about FC26 that you're going to experience straight up is just going to be the player contract negotiation. You can no longer just freely negotiate a player's contract. You can't just start off a season by renewing the players that have less than a year left on their contract. You have to wait until they message you. They have to go out your way. You have to see it in your inbox, in the player conversations, and then you can go in and renew their deals. However, now I think I've just started the game and no player is in no mindset to negotiate their contract with their agent. Again, who asked for this change? Why was this implemented? Like, who was requesting this? Who wanted this? No one. This was something that didn't need to be touched or tinkered with, and yeah, it's pissing people off. EA needs to fix this ASAP because yeah, it just kills the experience of just, I don't know, if you want to sim a couple of months into the future, simulate half a season, maybe just get to January. Well, you can't even do that anymore because apparently EA are aware of this issue, but players will just be randomly sold. The board will just accept transfer offers without your knowledge, and whilst you're doing this simulation via the calendar, the board could be selling off players in the background and you'd have no idea about it. I will give them props though, they are investigating the issue and they're looking into it, but who knows when this is going to be patched. And they don't even touch on or cover the contract situation, so maybe that's just a feature they implemented into the game and someone decided that that would be a good feature. But it's just creating a problem that didn't need to exist. Like, who wanted contract negotiation times revamped? Like, nobody. And as you're seeing in the bottom left corner, we aren't getting any notifications from when players actually message you and want to renegotiate their contract. Like, there's nothing in the menu to indicate that. You have to go and manually check every single time. So let's have a quick check and see if anyone wants to renew their contract. And I think we've only got this guy, Chick Kure, and you'll get this message. I just want to let you know that I really like it here, want to stay. Whenever you're ready, me and my agent are willing to sit down and discuss new terms. And that's when you know. That's when you have to go in and you can then go and renegotiate their contract. However, you have to go and check the player chats in your inbox weekly. It's just such an annoying issue that EA need to get sorted ASAP because this is extremely tedious for no reason. Here's another example of no cutscenes changing. This is all the same. I've also just noticed this whilst editing this video is that they've removed your wage budget when you're negotiating and, you know, signing up players, just negotiating in general. You can only see your main transfer budget, not the wage budget. What's up with that? There's no major cutscene overhaul, whether you're signing up a new player, selling a player, signing with a new club. It is all the same. Manager and player career mode, they haven't been touched. Another small minor issue about the tables. I mean, we're getting a little new UI refresh when you go ahead and look at all the standings. However, there is no trophy shown when you go and check the cups now. Like, I don't know, it just says champion and no trophy picture, no trophy room, nothing. It just looks incredibly minimalistic. And again, they've just removed the trophy from the menus for no reason. The standing menus are slightly annoying. They don't show the top 5 qualifying for the Champions League. But what I love now is that you can just click on any club. Let's just say Leeds. You can go ahead, check in on their squad hub and just take a look at who's their top goal scorer. Ayo Tanaka, 1 goal in 3 appearances in all competitions. You can just have a gaze at every single thing going on. And that's where the deeper simulation comes in clutch, a feature which we should have gotten years ago. And now you can check in on random players in different leagues, check in on wonder kids throughout the world. And from this squad hub stats menu, you can click on a player and shortlist them. And this is such a better way of identifying talents and scouting your next signing instead of, you know, searching him up online or using the global transfer network. It just gives your saves so much more depth. And this feature I can definitely mark as a W, but can be improved in the future, and that's what I'm expecting. Here's another new feature. You've got the unexpected events. If you have this on normal, I believe it only pops up maybe 2-3 times a season, but I've got it on high. So you might be getting one every couple of months, and this is an example. This is a bad one. You got a training injury clash, 2 players will be injured. You got your goalkeeper, which rarely got injured in FC25, and they'll actually pop up whilst you're simulating through the calendar, which I know a lot of you guys like to do, so the whole thing will just stop. But luckily, you can turn them off and on, but I think it actually spices up the manager career experience. And again, it's another W for FC26 as we get another unexpected event. This is one I got on stream as well. You've got a budget of 57 million that you have to spend. You got to use it or lose it, as our budget's not going to carry over into the next season. And some of these unexpected events actually like derail your team quite significantly here. With this Hotel Mayhem one, we've got a sleep was disrupted with some late night fireworks. So let's take a look at the squad. We're away in Ukraine. I don't think it was just fireworks going off. Let's take a look and see what the team is looking like. We've got Mateta, we've got, couple of players just completely busted, unable to play the game. So yeah, it gives you a lot to think about. Even some players in the reserves completely depleted. And now you've got some decisions to make here as the team is not coping. And the fireworks worked. We lost 3-2. There's no cutscene or anything to signify that something's happening, but you might see it pop up in the social media, in the news tab, that something's gone wrong. You've had a major training injury. So it's a nice little addition for now if you want something to entertain you and keep the storylines fresh, as you can see some new photos and new visuals pop up in the social media. That's another slight quality of life update. I really wouldn't call that a feature. It's still the same old FC25 social media feed you used to, but you might see a few new pictures, a few new like players in the gym, players with fans. Finally, we get to see a trophy picture in the menu after they've been removed. But these blue eyebrows are really starting to get on my nerves now. He's got an illness. Bro, he took one step in West London and Esteval Willian Almeida. He's gone from the favelas to West London and he's copped an illness. Now, quickly, the Youth Academy has had little to no improvements. However, there have been a couple of quality of life updates, let's say. In terms of the Youth Academy player photos and 2D mini faces, they've actually undergone a pretty decent improvement. They're a bit more high definition, high quality. I don't know how well it's coming across in the video, but you definitely notice a change there with the Youth Academy mini pictures. Not their actual in-game faces, but just their profile pictures. And something else you'll notice as well, if you do end up playing Youth Academy games, you will see now that every single club has an actual stadium, not just a random empty training pitch. Depends what size club you are. I'm surprised Crystal Palace have this huge one, but this is the biggest you're gonna get in terms of Youth Academy stadiums. It's a nice little touch. You got a little crowd watching on. You've got a nice, small, compact stadium with your managers on the sidelines, and it doesn't look like it's been ported over from the journey. They've actually created this one up from scratch. It's cool. I like this little cute boutique stadium, and this is in fact the biggest Youth Academy stadium you're gonna see. There's only two. So that's a little bit of a letdown, but at least you're not in a random empty training pitch. That's pretty much it for the Youth Academy. That's all that's changed. They're small W's, but you'll take any W you can get with career mode these days. These Youth Academy games haven't changed to 11v11 football though. And the player celebrations are actually fixed. Okay, you can start to see the environment outside the youth facilities. I still don't like how it's rush and not 11v11, but that's a rant for another day. However, another new feature is when the player performance thing happens and you can see the ratings for the players. You only get to see 2 of yours. You get to see 3 of the opposition though. So that's another little minor tweak you'll notice with the Youth Academy if you do end up playing these games. And similarly to the retro rewards or retro kits not working as rewards, the pre-order bonuses, if you did get the Ultimate Edition, they just do not work. I'm supposed to get a free 5-star scout. That was part of the pre-order bonus and they're just not here. You're also supposed to get the 5-star coaches for your tactical vision in your coach management. Do I get a free 5-star coach? No 5-star coaches here. So again, it was promised to me. Why didn't I get these pre-order bonuses? So that's another thing that's not working right now. Could potentially be patched, but this is how the game is on launch in early access, where the only pre-order bonuses that are working are the manager live challenges, where you can see my pre-order content here in these 3 challenges, which don't even unlock you the retro kits anyway, so it's pointless. All right, free agents this year. It's revolutionary, mate. They've changed the free agents logo. After 15 years, the free agents logo is now updated. Some free agent icons in here. The Mexicans, we've got the Hungarians, got the Qataris, we've got Christoph Piontek, who's a free agent. I thought I saw Dele Alli, but I think he got removed in the squad update. Oh, sometimes they don't even show the potential range. It's just potential peak. Someone's peaked and then declined. Doesn't even have a range. Diego Lainez has a range. Hakim Ziyech is a free agent. Washed FC, mate. A big W for me is the manager transfers. Now you can actually see them in the club or in the transfer history section of the menu, so you can take a look at all the moves that have gone down. I've seen the same players. This has been an issue in every single game, but the same players always get sold. They always leave. Alejandro Balde, he always leaves Barcelona in the first 2 transfer windows. And Milos Kerkez, he's had 6 months in Liverpool and he said, nah, I ain't having it. I'm off to Barcelona. So it looks like that signing went down like a lead balloon for Liverpool. I'm not going to look too much into it. Kenan Yildiz being sold to Real Madrid. Reece James always gets sold by Chelsea, I've noticed too. But The transfer logic, yeah, it's not that great. The board have sold a player behind our backs too whilst we were simulating. I didn't actually renew Mark Guehi's contract, and this is what happens. He's been sold to Manchester United, and I had no say in the matter. And you can see the date, that went down in October. So yeah, you gotta make sure you sign up these players on the contracts, because that'll kill you. I thought there were gonna be some manager transfers to dig into, but it looks like everyone's kept their job. You get some manager suggestions though. There's no more like job offers or anything. You have to actually go out and apply for jobs yourselves, or you can go through with this suggestion list. So apparently I could be taking over Diego Simeone. He will be resigning from his job, so managers can resign, but they don't actually retire. My hiring likelihood is unlikely, but let me just apply. You can have multiple applications too. You can only have 5. Too many ongoing applications, but okay, that is nice to know. You can have a little watch list. You can add some jobs that you want to watch, or just keep an eye on. How many can we have on the watch list? Yeah, my watch list is huge. You can have as many teams as you want. You can monitor every single manager. I want to monitor Conte at Napoli, Gasperini at Roma, and I also want to take a look at Xabi Alonso. I'm surprised there's no manager transfers available, but on stream, there was heaps that went down. Mikel Arteta went to Real Madrid. Xabi Alonso, he got fired mid-season in the first season, and Arteta also brought William Saliba along with him to the Bernabeu. So I was expecting to see a few more manager merry-go-rounds going on, but we've hit January. Nothing much has happened, and but I will say that is such a welcomed feature, so desperately needed, and now we finally got it. Sometimes caretaker managers take over, so you might see some random names and some managers without a profile picture, and that's because they're like assistant managers or interim managers that the team will sometimes keep. Okay, finally we got some manager transfers in this save. You can see MK Dons fired Harrison Coates, and they actually poached someone from the Norwegian league, so clubs can pick managers. They don't always have to be a free agent manager, and now he's gone from Norway to MK Dons, so that's definitely a choice. But the manager market has, again, the opportunity to provide you with so much more drama, the storylines, the world building in your career saves. A great new feature that sets FC26 apart. Ooh, 5 new job security updates. What's going on? Ooh, you get continuously updated about the job security of your watch list. So that's something to keep in mind. We've got Spurs, Thomas Frank. Job security is insecure right now. Oh, and you can't reapply for job offers too. You've got my application was recently rejected by Atletico Madrid, and I can't apply again. So that is a shame. We've got some female teams that also pop up in the suggestions. This is definitely a huge W if you want like the journeyman feel where you're swapping clubs every year. That is definitely possible now in FC26. Can you look at the international game? Okay, you can't look at the international manager job market. Not that you'd want to manage a national team in the current state it's in FC26, but you can't look at the job security of like a Thomas Tuchel at the England job or Gattuso managing Italy. It's only on the club side, which is the only L takeaway because you can't apply for international jobs. Alright, Creator Club's up next. Everyone's favorite segment every year. Creator Club, let's see what's new this year. We have club mascots. Okay, we might be saved here, boys. We're getting it. This is new. This is like the first thing they've added into Creator Club mascot. You can get dragon, goat, cat, lion. Can I see a photo of them? Dog, eagle, bee, rat. We can have a rat mascot. Jesus, all right. Let's have the EA CEO as our mascot. You know it's bad when you go into Creator Club. The only new feature is mascots. I just want to see my rat mascot. That's all I want to see. Oh my god. Look at our mascot. I thought he'd look a little bit more vicious. He looks like bloody Chuck E. Cheese or something. I thought he'd have like fangs, and I thought he'd look cool. I thought he'd look like an evil rat or something. That ain't my rat. That ain't my rat nation. This guy came out of Chuck E. Cheese. I'm gonna serve you some pizza or something. What the hell is that? That's not gonna send shivers down the spines of our opponents. Matchday presentation and visuals are slightly enhanced too. You're gonna see a few new camera angles, some extra cutscenes when it comes to loading up into a game, and also like cutaways to the manager when your team scores a goal, and also those new Google Earth loading up into a game match intros also happen, but it's only in the Premier League and only with the big clubs. I wanted to play this Anfield game because I thought I'd get it here here, but I didn't. So that happens sparingly, but it is a nice, cool load up visual that fully immerses you on match day. So there are some visual differences and enhancements with the match day presentation, just ever so slightly. You're going to see the nice little pop-up of your goal scorer come through, like right here, Alexander Isak, 26 goals in 36 appearances. There's a couple little things added to the broadcast package, and you can turn off hypermotion replays, the POV camera angle. I turned that off straight away. I'm not a fan. So you can completely remove that if you hated it in FC25. So that's a thumbs up from me. Those are my key takeaways on match day in game. You might see this one, the players getting off the bus in the pre-game with the fans all lined up outside. So yeah, there are a variety of different pre-match cutscenes, which does set the tone, sets the vibe, focuses in on a player or two. Oh, a proper relegation scrap, this one. Bro, the white scalps are everywhere. In the pre-game lineup visuals, players have like little individual animations they show to the camera, which gives them a little bit of character, like there, Reece Nelson. It gives them a bit of flair and personality, like that pop-up when a player scores. They do that little animation, which is cool and lifelike. There is still no scoreboard goal pop-up like you see on TV in real life, and like the game already does in the Champions League. So that's a little bit of a letdown. That was something I was expecting. You never know, we might see more features, more little additions come through in updates later down the line, but this is my first initial impressions. These are my like off the bat launch day experience and the key differences that you'll notice. Anyways, my final verdict for now is, yeah, just hold off on this game until the bugs and some of the glitches get patched. Besides those 3 or 4 W's that I mentioned, it's pretty much the same as FC25 with a few new little visual tweaks. There is no rush to pay full price for this game, so wait for a discount, wait for Black Friday or Christmas when it's half price, and also wait for the mods, which will be coming soon. And you know, as soon as the FC26 mods drop, this is the channel where you want to be. It's going to make the game so much better and hopefully fix a lot of the issues we're experiencing right now. I'm also going to provide a little bit more of a deep dive in terms of things that have stayed the same, removed features, so you get more of an understanding on how FC26 career mode is. So stay tuned for that. But FC26, for now, it's in the right direction. I still want my retro kits, man. I'm never going to forgive EA if they're just Ultimate Team. I'm actually going to lose it. Bro, I haven't even touched on player career mode. That might even deserve its own video in and of itself. But nevertheless, I've been your boy, Sir BCHD. Drop a like on the video if you want to see more FC26 content, and subscribe to never miss out on a video. And I'll catch you all in the next one.